Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead Dead City video. So in this one here, I wanted to talk about, I guess the excitement for the Walking Dead Dead City Season 2, because honestly, since the trailer has come out, there's been a lot of talk about this show, and it's been very, very positive, which is definitely really nice, because I haven't really been used to that in terms of, the last, however long for The Walking Dead, it really feels like ever since the Ones Who Live finale, that The Walking Dead has just been in a really bad place overall, and things, I guess, did get better after we saw the trailer for Daryl Dixon Season 3, because it actually looked really good, but still, things got very quiet for a while, and then Dead City Season 2, literally everything with this season has just seemed very, very positive, from the show having 8 episodes and just everything that we're seeing from the characters and the story, it just really feels like classic Walking Dead, and everything that I've been seeing, it seems like people are actually very interested in watching this show. So I'm going to be really interested in seeing how they promote the show here, because I think that because of the interest here, and we'll talk about that in a second, but because of how many people want to watch this show, they really got to keep promoting this now until, May 4th and even past that, right? Just to get people to actually start watching the show, because the excitement is there. So yeah, honestly, really good for The Walking Dead, really good for AMC, and so I hope that they actually, keep promoting the show like they're doing, and yeah, let's see where this goes here. But before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. We're less than, well, I guess we're 41 days now, I guess, until the premiere of The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2. There's going to be new teasers, new trailers, and all of that, obviously, over the next, however, long, I guess, month and a half or whatever, and there's going to be a lot of character portraits, interviews, lots of information, some stuff on other spin-offs and everything as well, I would expect. I believe there's actually supposed to be an AMC event happening next month, I believe, at some point in April, so I think, talking about the future of The Walking Dead and all of that, there could be an update on, obviously a season 3 of Dead City, but just, where to go with other characters like Rick and Michonne, and just, what the future is, right? So anything that we learn, just any news in general, I will do videos breaking down everything, so definitely make sure to be a subscriber to get all of that content. But let's actually get into what I wanted to talk about here. So the excitement here for Dead City seems to be really, honestly, kind of crazy. I really wasn't expecting it with this show. I knew that the show probably would be better than The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2, and we still have to watch Season 2 of Dead City. Obviously, we could watch the show, and then it's just oh, wow, actually, maybe it's worse or something, right? But the excitement for Daryl Dixon Season 2 wasn't really there, I will say, in terms of the promotion for what they were doing that season. I think that there was just a lot going wrong for it, right? In terms of the title, the Book of Carol and the story and a lot of things like that. They did a lot of things, I think, that season that hurt the show. Well, they didn't hurt the show, but it just hurt the story they set up in Season 1, which was such a great story. Dead City Season 2, going into it right now, it seems like the excitement for The Walking Dead is actually it's there. People are excited to watch this. The trailer for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2, I saw it this morning anyways. I think it was at 3.8 million views, which is a lot. Because Daryl Dixon Season 2, I think was at 500,000. Maybe it's close to 1 million now or something. I could be wrong with the numbers, but it was somewhere around there. And Season 1 was around 7 million or something like that, I'm pretty sure. But that was also a long time ago. So The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2's trailer being at 3.8 million, it's gonna pass 4 million. And again, it just came out a couple of days ago. So in 2 years from now, the views could definitely be a lot higher. I don't think The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon's Season 1 trailer jumped up that high to 7 million within the first couple of days or a week or something. I could be wrong, but I don't think it did. My point is with this is that The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2's trailer has already passed the trailer for The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live, which is something that I really was not expecting, honestly, because The Ones Who Live was obviously very, very popular. And I would still say that the hype overall for that show was still, I would say, higher. But then again, I'm sort of thinking about what it was like to actually watch the show when it was airing, right? When the show was airing, a lot of the excitement was there from episode to episode. But I do remember before The Ones Who Live aired, things were very quiet. I know the trailer came out and it was really exciting, but honestly, until it was the very end of February, until the very first episode, things were so quiet for the show that it was really I was wondering what was going on. Is the excitement going to be there? But once you watch that first episode, once you actually get to the premiere date, that's where you start to see a lot of the excitement and things start to feel a lot more alive again, right? So right now with Dead City Season 2, I think that the excitement is there because people are more looking into the show now. I think it does help that Dead City Season 1 just got released on Netflix like the other day, or maybe it was a couple of weeks ago already, but it was this month though, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that, they released it on Netflix, I've seen so many comments of people saying that like they've just watched it and wow, I'm really excited to actually watch the next season. And I've seen a lot of people watching, the Season 2 trailer and seeing their reactions to it, being very excited to actually like watch this show. So I think that that's what Dead City Season 2 has going for it compared to, I would say, Daryl Dixon Season 2, where people weren't really that excited to watch it, to be honest. Like, no one really cared to watch that season. I don't want to say no one did, but it's not in the same place that, Dead City Season 2 is at right now. And, like, Dead City Season 2, in terms of that hype, is very similar to The Ones Who Live. So I will be really interested in seeing how this overall compares in terms of the ratings and all of that. Like, the thing is, like, my thing about this is the ratings are always going to drop, I think, from year to year, because there's just less people watching cable every single year, right? So when I look at that, that's the one argument that I think people will always bring up. It's like, well, the ratings are lower now than they were before. And well, that's just going to happen because it's happening everywhere. Like every single year that passes, it seems like the ratings for cable are always dropping. And it doesn't really matter like how successful a TV show is. People aren't watching on cable anymore. So you really have to go just based off of like the streaming numbers. If the streaming numbers are better for AMC, like AMC Plus, then obviously like that's really amazing, but like they never really give those numbers out ever. So it's so hard to say. But in terms of, the success that the show has had on Netflix so far, obviously it's really up there. And it's just really nice to see The Walking Dead actually, having a lot of success right now and people being very excited about it, because I think for a very long time, well, like the last like almost year now, things haven't been the most exciting. Like it's just been kind of like, I don't know. And honestly, Dead City Season 2 was the one show I was like the most worried about, because after The Ones Who Live, I was like, well, Season 2 of Daryl Dixon should be good. I was going based off of Season 1. That one ended up not being the greatest. And then I was thinking about Dead City and I was like, oh man, like the first season, I really liked it. But if it's not a fun story and they're not doing a bigger story overall, like it's not going to feel that exciting to watch it. But I mean, we saw the trailer now, so obviously I was very, very wrong. And I saw a really interesting interview here from IGN, which was actually kind of cool. Like I read the whole article here, and basically the headline here, though, says, I broke up with The Walking Dead, but The Walking Dead Dead City might bring me back. And I've been seeing that same sort of reaction from a lot of people that like, The Walking Dead was a show I really liked back in the day, but I stopped watching a long time ago around season 4 or 5. And like now I might actually come back to check out the show. I know that The Ones Who Live, had a very similar reaction. I think that a lot of people stopped watching when Rick left, or maybe they stopped watching like years ago. But, for that show to see Rick Grimes and everything again, I think that, yeah, people were just really excited about it. But I will just say in terms of, the excitement overall and the way that people are viewing both of the shows, like, Dead City does seem like the cooler show, because of the fact that we saw literally, Maggie with Lucille. We saw a grizzly bear. Negan actually has Lucille again, and Lucille has an upgrade, and he has a leather jacket. Like, there's just so many things with the show that, seem very, very cool. And like, the one thing about Negan is that he's very popular. Like honestly, some people view him to be like the most popular Walking Dead character just like ever. I know it always goes back and forth between like Negan, Rick, and Daryl, and even Daryl sometimes is even more popular, right? But I think that for Negan specifically, there's just something about the character that, people really do like. And I think that's why he's never really been like, a villain that people just like didn't like kind of thing. Like, I think some people viewed him like that maybe in season 7 and 8, but he was very likable, I think, because of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And I think, going into Dead City season 2 here, seeing what his story's been like over the years, people just seeing that, they're going to be like, oh, like I really cannot wait. And also, it does kind of help, with the fact that Invincible had Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Steven Yeun, in the very last episode there of season 3. So I think because of that, there was excitement there. Maybe people, saw this afterwards, because the trailer came out a couple of days after that or a week later or whatever. So I could just see how there's overall excitement and interest in The Walking Dead Dead City because of, just sort of how things have been playing out lately. And I think, honestly, it's just really great to see. So I'm going to leave it here, though. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below on Dead City Season 2. And is it nice to see, everybody being excited about The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2? I think once we actually watch the show and we're like a week away, the excitement's going to build like to a whole new level, because I think that that is the thing with the shows, is that like things are very quiet. Like honestly, even like the week of, things are still very quiet until you watch the very first episode. It's only like the day of where things are a little bit more exciting, or like, you know what I mean? But I think things are a bit different now because of like the release schedule, which I will say, it's kind of funny looking back at it now, but like, you know, AMC Plus used to release The Walking Dead like a couple of days before the Sunday, or like if you got AMC Plus, you could watch it a week early or whatever, which was definitely very, very frustrating. I remember doing reviews of episodes back then, and like, it was so frustrating because we were always so far ahead of everyone else. And like, obviously we wanted to talk about the episode. So it was a really frustrating time that now I'm actually really excited about the fact that they just release it the Sunday. Yeah, you don't have to wait till nighttime, but like generally it's the same day. And I think that's really good. Honestly, I do think that's really good. This way, give people, you know, who do want to subscribe to AMC Plus enough time to watch the episode whenever they want on the Sunday. Some people, you know, watch it in the morning when they're having coffee, or maybe it's like after work or something like that, right? So it's definitely, I think, a schedule that really works, and I'm glad that we're not like everywhere with the schedules and all that anymore. So yeah, but I'll leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.